Jason chuckles as he shakes his head. Were you expecting someone else? I was hoping it was Hieronymous, I tell him honestly. Are you able to break me out of here? I need to go help Hieronymous. I think Potsdam knocked him out in some way, or hurt him. I'm not sure, but I need to go help him. And Becky. Potsdam took her. She plans to wipe her memories and replace them with her own. Jason pauses as he glances up and to the side. Hieronymous is awake, he says at length. He is currently fighting with Potsdam in the gym. Becky is there, as are your friends. I have a million questions and I struggle to pick out the most important one. But are they strong enough to defeat her with our combined power? I'm not sure, kiddo, Jason says with a sigh. This is some mess you've gotten yourself into. Yeah, I'll say, I snort under my breath. How did you even know I was here? I've actually been waiting for you for quite some time, Jason says as he squares himself in front of me. We need to talk, Tori. We can talk on the way, I insist. Please, just get me out of here. Not until you listen to what I have to say, Jason replies. Listen to what I have to tell you first. Then you can decide for yourself if you still want to come with me or not. I stare at him, feeling a chill taking over my body. Okay, what do you have to tell me? I am sorry that I have misled you, Tori, he continues. I am not Jason Coleman. I stare at him. Who are you then? Just someone doing the work of the council, he replies. The workings of the council are clandestine for a reason. We assume hosts so that we may carry out our work in secret. Jason Coleman is just one such identity. But was he a real person? I ask quietly. Or did you kill him and take over his body? Jason Coleman was indeed a teacher in the other world, he replies. He taught how to cheat, how to swindle, and how to use magic to manipulate those from the low world. After he was caught, he tried using dangerous magic to escape the authorities and did not survive. After he passed on, he gave us permission to use his vessel to carry out our work. I just stare at him, trying to remember every single conversation I ever had with Jason all at once. Okay, so you took Jason's form and decided to get a job as a teacher at Iris Academy because we sensed an imbalance in the natural flow, he replies. When I first came to this school, you had recently become married to Hieronymous. We were sure that the imbalance we felt and the increasing amount of expelled Wild Seed students were no doubt directly tied to an experiment that he was creating, potentially with the influence and direction of his father. Aloysius's many attempts to destroy the natural order have been duly noted, and we have been keeping a close watch on the Grabiner line. So that's why you were so insistent that I break up with him, I say, putting two and two together for myself. You thought Hieronymous was the one who was stealing mana from expelled wild seeds. Indeed we did, he replies. He was immediately suspicious of me, which did nothing to dispel my own suspicions concerning his behavior. Regardless, as the months went by, I was beginning to suspect that I was wrong. After he left the school, I realized that I had been looking in the wrong direction. You should have just asked me, I tell him. I could have told you that Potsdam was stealing mana from expelled wild seeds to give to Aloysius to prolong his life. Not much good it did him, though. He's dead now. We are aware, he says with a curt nod. And you are sure that Hieronymous was not also benefiting from these transactions? No way, I say immediately. Hieronymous has done plenty of shady things, but it has always been done to protect me. He would never do anything like that. The rest of them may have a skewed moral compass, but Hieronymous is good. He acts cruel because he doesn't want people to see how much he cares, but his beneficence is genuine. He never liked the way Potsdam refused to educate Wildseeds and let them fall victim to their own ignorance. If he was running the school, none of that would have happened. Jason's face flickers with the ghost of a smile. After all that has happened, it is good to see that your unwavering loyalty to him has remained intact. It is refreshing to see. Which is why I need to get out of here, I say as I hold my hand through the bars. Jason or not Jason, are you the same person who performed the solemn bond to save my life? He nods. I am. I want to ask him why he did that, but that was a question for later. I have a million questions to ask you, but right now we do not have time. If you were here to address the imbalance that you felt, then you need to stop Potsdam from hurting my husband and my friends. He hesitates for a moment. There are still many things that we need to discuss, Tori. I don't like his tone when he says it, but I can't worry about that now. We will have all the time in the world to talk after we save Hieronymous, I insist. Please, 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 just let me help Hieronymous. If you need me for something, then I will try to help however I can, but I can't think straight if I'm worried about Hieronymous. Would you make a vow? He asks, promising your cooperation with what I need if I promise to rescue Hieronymous, your friends, and remove Potsdam from her position of power. I just stare at him. It sounded almost too good to be true, and if I had learned anything by now, was that things that sounded too good to be true probably were just that. I was not going to promise him something when I did not know what was being asked of me. If Potsdam was telling the truth back in her office, I had to think about a life outside of myself. No way, I tell him. I am not promising you anything. You don't have to promise me anything either, but if you want me to trust you, doing what you just said is a good start. Trust is a two-way street, he reminds me. And I am trusting you to teleport me out of here and not into some kind of hell dimension, I counter. And if what you said to me was true, and you are doing the work of the council, shouldn't you want to remove Potsdam from power anyway if she is causing the imbalance? Whether I agree to help you or not, she would still be a threat. She could have killed me back in her office, and that wouldn't have changed anything. You would still have had to step in and do something. Jason just chuckles as he shakes his head. That is a very fair point, Tori. All right. When I take your hand, I will teleport us into the quad. They are dueling in the gym. We will stake out the situation and formulate a plan on how to proceed based on what we see. You will follow every direction and command without question. Am I understood? You're understood, but I'm still not promising you anything, I tell him firmly, and Jason grins as he reaches out and takes my outstretched hand. I had never trusted Jason much before, but hopefully I could trust this stranger to lead me to Hieronymous. After I made sure he was safe, then I could worry about whatever the council wanted from me. I always thought that the three kindred had brought me back for a reason, and maybe I was finally one step closer to discovering exactly why that was.